Hey there, it's Carrie Rhodes here. Welcome to my YouTube channel and a new card making video. This is a YouTube hop with the Lawn Fawn fans. We just all love Lawn Fawn. We love getting together seasonally and sharing ideas with you with some of our favorite products, and this is our Valentine's hop. We are giving away a $25 gift card to Lawn Fawn, so make sure you subscribe, like, and comment as you hop along to be entered to win. I am starting out today's card using patterned paper. This is the Watercolor Wishes patterned paper. It just looks like watercolor background. It saves you so much time and not having to create a background that looks like this. So that's going to be my sky, the kind of yellowish orange panel. Then I'm taking a strip of the kind of turquoise blue and cutting using ocean waves at the top. That's going to be my pond. And then I need a grassy hill. So I love the mushroom border die set for a grassy hill. I use this die like all the time. It is such a good grassy hill. It's perfect, and it looks so good with this Watercolor Wishes paper. Then I need some mountains. I'm not using pattern paper for this, just some gray cardstock. This is the Stitched Mountain Border die set, taping that in place in the size that I need. My card is going to be 5 by 7, so these panels are roughly 4 3/4 of an inch wide, unless I cut them bigger, so that when I glue them down, I can trim off the sides, which is what I did with this mountain. I like to be able to center it up how I like it and then trim it down. Okay, I am bringing in another add-on set. This is the Shadow Box Mountain add-on set. This might be the first add-on set I'm bringing in, actually. Yeah, and then I'm going to use that tiny little cabin and the trees from this set, and this is going to help create my scene. I did 2 sets of the trees and 2 cabins. That yellow piece is just a solid piece that you glue the cabin onto so that the yellow can show through. You could do blue, like whatever color you wanted for the back of your cabin to shine through those windows. Also, the door can open, which is so cute, but I don't really need that for today's card. Then I have my roof. I die cut from a lighter brown, and the cabin itself I die cut from some wood grain cardstock from Lawn Fawn just to give it more authenticity. Yeah, okay, this is what I'm so excited about. Oh my goodness, this new like wood slice die set from Tim Holtz and Sizzix I am in love with. The alphabet that looks like it's been etched into the wood, where you can put anything you want on your wood slice. You can have your wood slice be a circle or a heart. I'm in love with it, and mine's gonna say would you. I'll complete the sentiment using stamps, and that's gonna be way at the end of the video, but check out these wood slices. So I did the darkest layer is the base, and then I went a mid-tone and then lightest on the top part, which has the wood grain and the little cuts in it. I shadowed that with a little bit of some ink, and then I can glue on my letters, and this just makes me so happy. It is like one of my favorite things in a long time, and I already had this Would You Be Mine Beaver stamp set from Lawn Fawn, and I was like, oh my gosh, I have to put them together. It's a match made in heaven. So that's what I'm doing for today's card. Now, I have a stamp set of the month series in which I featured the Would You Be Mine stamp set, and this is the card that I didn't get to make that I wanted to make for that series. So if you followed along, you saw those 2 episodes. This is kind of like episode 3 plus the next project I have to go with this card has been brewing in my mind since I saw the Beaver stamp set. So there's my wood slice. I'm super excited about this card and this video and my projects today, if you can't tell. All right, so now let's bring out the Would You Be Mine stamp set. I already have these beavers stamped, colored, die cut. I'm going to save those. I thought it was going to go on the front of the card, and then I changed my mind. I'm also bringing in this frog stamp set. I love it so much, but it's got like lily pads and cattails and grasses that go really good with this. And I did bring in the So Damn Much stamp set, and I'm going to color out these hugging beavers. This is actually what's going to go on the front of my card. I thought they would maybe go on the inside and the beavers with the heart would go on the outside, but I ended up switching it up. These just fit better between my 2 little cabins. So yeah, you got to go with the flow sometimes, right? All right, so you can see the marker caps on screen that I'm using to color out my beavers today. I've been just trying out different combinations of my markers, and I love them all. Like the beavers can be really dark colored, really light colored. It's just fun that you have options like that. I do love the tail with the outline really dark and then colored in with a little bit lighter brown. And the tail looks amazing when you add a white gel pen highlight to it. It really helps it look shiny like a beaver tail would be. And then I am using some green, just 2 green markers for all the green things, the cattails, the grasses, the lily pad, the leaves, all of that. Really simple coloring with these small images, which I love. I love that. It looks good with just a little bit of effort. Now, I know I colored this flower pink, RV11, RV10. That's cute. I love it, but it just didn't go with my card. I'll end up changing it. You'll see. All right, now it's time to die cut out all the things. All of these things have dies, and I love that. I love die cutting out my images. I love the little white border all the way around. It just makes me happy, and I think they look so cute once they're die cut. So there's all the pieces I'm using besides the beavers with the heart, and maybe a few more things that I'm going to die cut along the way. Or stamp and die cut. So I decided I needed a little bit of shadowing on the edge of my pattern paper. So Aqualicious for my little pond, olive ink for my grass. These are all from Altenew. They're crisp dye ink, and it really just helps with the scene that I'm doing. It's kind of a nighttime sunset scene, and so I love having a dark shadow there, and the dimension that adding a shadow gives is, it's just transformative. Like it takes your card up a level. It does. So I even did this with the sunset using rouge ink. It is a little bit more pink, but when you put it on top of this yellow, it really came off orange. I'm going to add to that too. Sometimes I can't stop with my cards. I just keep working on them. You'll see. Like right now, I'm adding some hearts in there. I thought it was going to be cute, and then it wasn't. Doesn't it look like bubbles underwater? And it's not supposed to look underwater. So I thought, okay, let's add some splatter. So I have a little window sheet. I smooshed my ink pad down on it. I spritzed it with water. I've got my scraggly brush, which by the way was used for liquid stardust last. And that stuff kind of stays in there. So I got a little bonus shimmer in there. So I'm setting that aside. I will work on it some more. And then I'm going to stamp some little ripples for the pond that are in that Would You Be Mine stamp set with the same Aqualicious ink, and I love the little addition of that. It adds so much character. Okay, on my 4 3/4 by 6 3/4 panel of paper, I glued down my sky. I already glued my pond to my grass. I added that, but I didn't glue it all the way to the top so I could tuck my mountains down in there. And you can see having it overlap allows me to kind of scoop my mountains back and forth how I want them. And then I just cut off the edges, and that works really well for me because then I have it flush with the edges and centered how I like. So now it's time to start building the scene. I'm going to put on my cabins first, and then I'll add in the trees. I love the addition of the trees on there. It's just really building up this forest mountainy scene, and it makes me want to go to the mountains. It's such a beautiful day here in Idaho. The weather is like in the 40s, the sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the squirrels are running. Like I feel like it's time to go camping, and it's winter, but we're having this warmer weather. So it's a good day to go out and probably walk the dog instead of go camping. So I'm adding in my cattails, my grasses, my little wood stump, my lily pad, and then my wood slice I am popping up on top with some foam. So here's where I added to the background even more. I added some ruby red ink. So now I've got my sunset sky that's kind of yellow in the center. It goes out to orange with a little kiss of the red on the edge, which I really needed some red in here because I wanted to add some hearts. So I decided we needed to amp up the red in this. I'm going to stamp my sentiment that says, "Be mine." It's going to go with my wood slice right below my beavers on the water. Now, if this layout seems familiar to you from my Stamp Set of the Month series, you would be right. Would? Sorry, I like to be punny. Anyway, I made 2 other cards with this layout, but different scenes and different elements. I'll show them to you in just a minute, but it's such a good layout for these critters, this, I don't know, this whole collection. I'm really loving it. So you'll see two more ideas with it here in a sec. So here I am adding the white gel pen highlights. And when I got to that little pink flower, I was like, this is my opportunity to add more red to my card. So I colored that one red. And when I colored that one red, I was like, I really need more than one lily pad. And then when I glued this down, I was like, I really need more than two red flowers. And so I added a third. And now let's do the inside. So I'm using that add-on stamp set, So Damn Much, and stamping I Love You So Damn Much on the inside. And then those beavers with the heart I'm putting there at the bottom. I feel like these two beavers, they came along. One started building a cabin, the other one came along, started building the cabin. So the first one helped the other one, and then they fell in love. And now it's Valentine's Day, and now they have one house to live in and one house to Airbnb. It's a true love story. Yeah. All right, here's my other cards. You can see the beavers are all colored different. The scenes are different, and yet the layout is the same. And I have that cabin die set, the Build a Cabin die set, which is probably like the cutest thing since the wood use slice that I just made. I just love it, and I made it light up. I also used the hot foil wood grain on that Love Ya heart. Those cards, they're so good. I'll have the video for those other two linked for you. But now let's make a beaver box using the Tiny Box Skunk add-on. Okay, I'm using some brown papers, and these I'm showing you what pieces I am cutting from what color of paper. So if you want to recreate this little beaver, you can, and you could make yours cuter than mine, because mine has some giant teeth. Okay, so here's all the little pieces. It's really easy to do. We're only changing up two things besides the fact that we're using brown papers instead of black and white papers. So if you haven't seen the tiny gift box, you want to put the adhesive on the two outer flaps, not the top one. That one would glue your box shut. We don't really want to do that unless you're putting something in there. You want to seal it up for, sending purposes or whatever. But honestly, don't put any adhesive there or you'll glue it shut. I like to use a combination of double stick tape and liquid glue so it does not pop open. That's like my least favorite thing. I'm really all about good adhesion. So there's the tiny box. Now the part with the little cutout is the back of the box. That's where the tail's going to go. You don't want to put the face there or it's going to be really hard to open the box. So I have my mid-tone brown as my face, and then I have the lightest brown for the inside of the ears and the belly. Now I feel with the beaver, you could leave the belly part off or put it on. Either way, it's up to you. All right, so there he is. He's really cute. Now we're going to cut him just the tiniest little square for teeth. Mine's too big. Make yours smaller than this. And then we're going to glue it right on its mouth. And so what I did is I'm going to cover up the mouth part, and then I'm going to die cut the face again from black, but this time I want to save that little nose piece, and I'm going to lay it over the top of the one that's there. So it looks like my teeth are coming from behind its little mouth. Does that make sense? Yeah, it's really easy. You're just die cutting out a second piece and gluing it on top of the one that's there. And then you just need a black pen to draw the line right down the middle of his giant teeth. All the better to cut down more logs. Then I'm adding the pink cheeks, which I did from like the lightest pink cardstock that I could find, and laid those on there. And I think it really looks like a beaver. There's one more thing that is very important for a beaver. That's the tail, and I can't wait to show you how I did that. But first, I decided that my beaver was not going to be as furry as a skunk would be. So I just gave it a little bit of a haircut, but you really don't have to do this. I've never seen a beaver in real life, but my husband did, and he took a picture of it, and I was kind of surprised how like furry he looked. So I thought it was totally fine to use this backdrop for him. All right, for the tail, I took the biggest tail piece and I flipped it upside down. So the part that's going to show for the beaver's tail is actually the base of the tail. And I just took that same black pen and I am drawing lines to create the look of a beaver tail in black, just like that. And I expect you to draw these perfect. I want them to be straight and even. Just kidding. Just have fun with it. It doesn't matter if they are not perfect. Mine are far from it, and I think it looks totally fine. All right, I added the legs on. Now, if I could change one thing about my beaver box right here, I think I would do the body of the box, like the actual box itself, from the mid-tone brown, so that the legs and the like mane, the furry part, would stand out a little bit more. Then I am taking my white gel pen, adding highlights to the eyes and the nose and the cheeks. And now this stitched heart that comes in the tiny gift box, I stamped "Would You Be Mine" from the Beaver stamp set. So it matches my card. I'm sticking it right on top of the box. And now I have this cute little gift box I can put some chocolates in and give with the card. It is so cute. Look at that. So take your Skunk add-on and just make a couple changes and you have a beaver box. Isn't that so fun? I hope you like it. And now it is time for you to hop along and see what the other designers in the Lawn Fawn Fans group have made, and you are going to be blown away. I've seen the cards. They are like so good. They're so fun. Remember to comment as you go, and the details for the giveaway are in the description box below. I will see you all again very soon on the next video. Happy stamping! Bye.